Mass shootings affect the video game industry. They shouldn't, but they do, in a myriad of ways. For one, it always brings up the obvious violent video games debate, which has been shut down time and again, but seems to be gaining more traction as the government and administration seem more inclined to take it seriously. I've spoken about this before, but to quickly summarize for episodic posterity, violent video games desensitize youth, and studies have shown it can lead to increased rates of acting out in school or more aggressive behaviors in children and teenagers. However, that does not equate to violent video games cause mass shootings. If you want to be fair and technical about it, violent video games can foster and or exacerbate an underage individual's pre-existing propensity for violent behaviors. They are not going to take an otherwise innocent teenager and turn him into a cold-blooded killer. They can simply act as a warm, muggy climate for the fungus of sociopathy to thrive, much like any other violent entertainment medium. You can't solely blame video games if you're going to blame them at all, because TV, movies, even books are in the same vein. There's something to be said about video games' unique function of bringing control of the carnage into the player's hands, but again, we're not talking about flipping psycho switches on and off just by playing some Grand Theft Auto. These people already have deep personal traumas at an individual level, whether it's abuse or neglect. The heart of mass shootings is individual trauma, always. Even when a political motive is attached, you're not going to actually carry out the deed in service to your ideology unless you're all kinds of fucked up. Plus, how were you radicalized in the first place, if not due to your own hyper-vulnerable and easily exploitable mental state? These people have problems way before they pick up the gun. Like, guns are responsible for the method of death, but humans are the ones providing the motive. Regardless, the gaming industry's reaction to shootings continues to be annoying at best. ESPN has decided to delay the broadcast of an Apex Legends highlight show from a recent already completed tournament at the X Games. It was set to air August 10th, but is now being delayed to October. I don't know if the tournament organizers came to this conclusion or if ESPN just made the decision on its own, but it continues to be fake and pointless, and I will tell you exactly why. First of all, who are you doing this for? The victims? The family and friends of the victims? Those people will still be victims and family and friends of victims come October, so if you do air it at that point, nothing's changed for them, so the real question is what's changed for you? Think of what you imply when you make this move in response to an event like that. Are you conceding that Apex Legends tournament footage can be somehow connected to the mass shootings? Are you accepting a form of responsibility or culpability by delaying a broadcast of a violent video game and thus validating some people's claims that they cause mass shootings? If so, why is it okay to do it later? These corporations act like they're sensitive to tragedies by pulling advertising or delaying a broadcast until the heat is off, and then they sneak right back in there like nothing happened, which is what makes the whole display so pointless. The world doesn't stop turning when a shooting happens. Keep your ads. Keep your broadcasts on time. Anyone who's triggered can deal with their own feelings personally. You do video games no favors when you take actions that make them look guilty. It's never out of respect or in solidarity. You can't take on those feelings without admitting some kind of associative guilt. Walmart has taken it a step further by actually halting violent video game ads in their stores. That's more than just a respect thing. That's a video games are the problem thing. And they haven't just removed posters, they've even taken down demo setups so people can't play them in store. People are reacting to an IGN article that exposes them for removing violent video game imagery while still purportedly selling guns, but it's important to note that Walmart stopped selling Armalite weapons like the AR-15 4 years ago, and they only sell legit handguns in Alaska, where people are too busy killing themselves to do much damage to each other. What's left over are your garden variety airsoft and pellet guns for hunting and target practice, which can only be effective in a mass shooting scenario if the killer is super good at aiming for people's eyeballs, or if he's conducting a mass shooting of squirrels. And even then, they're mostly single-shot, break-barrel action that takes time to reload between each bullet, so those streets will be clear by the time you get 4 shots off. So if you're gonna dunk on Walmart, stick to the video game thing. They deserve that dunk. Here's the thing. I tweeted a couple of those statements, and I had a few people in my replies being like, well, actually, the Walmart in my town still sells ARs, but then I'd go look online at a selected store near their location, and it would just be the same air rifles and pellet guns as everywhere else. AR doesn't stand for air rifle or assault rifle, by the way. It stands for Armalite, which is a manufacturer. But it's like a big problem surrounding the essence of the gun debate is that people know literally jack shit about guns, and I'm one of them. I had to give myself a slight internet crash course by asking Google a bunch of questions as I was browsing Walmart's gun selections because I was like, dude, I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at, help me. I was in there searching which calibers are dangerous, what break barrel action is, how fast certain guns can be loaded, trying to cross-reference all that info with what Walmart had in stock, and I still know very little, but very little is more than nothing, which is what a lot of other people are working with. And no disrespect to them, cause I just was them. But if you don't think research will help your position, you probably shouldn't have that position. I'm not done learning either. Anyway, this is still about video games, so let's get back to that. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you can like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at Sunburned Albino, and I will see you guys next time.